French, I've been asked to enter the two data sets and label the columns. You can just touch right in the column and rename it. The first column, A, we have the values 1, 2, 3, and 4, and B, we have the values of 0.5, 2.5, 2.5, and 4.5. We're first asked to find the mean of the data set and record them below. So remember, these are summary statistics. So I'm going to go to Stat, Summary Stat by column, and I want A and I want B. And I'm going to go ahead and compute. The mean for A is 2.5, and the mean for B is 2.5. Next, I'm asked to graph a dot plot of each. Do I think, since the means are the same, do I think they have the same variation? Are they spread out the same? I'm going to graph a dot plot, and I'm going to select both of them. And for my graphing properties, I just want to make sure that they're using the same x-axis at the very bottom. Okay. At the top, you can see B has a dot at 0.5, a dot at 4.5, and then 2 at 2.5. Notice our axis doesn't actually go all the way down to 0. And A, the data set, is 1, 2, 3, and 4. The range of the data set is actually in our values from before. The range for the data set is actually in our values from before. If you see towards the right-hand side, you've got the median, and then you have the range. The range for one of the data sets is 3, and the range for the other is 4. Which one do you think is which? Then we want to complete the tables and find the absolute deviation of each data set. So I'm going to keep these calculations and bring them back to our notes and continue from there. Okay, we're back on our worksheet here. I've added the mean, I've added the dot plots on the right-hand side, I've added the ranges, and now we're going to compute the following tables, finding the ADM of each. Remember, that's the distance, the absolute distance from each mean. Remember that the mean is 2.5. 1 minus 2.5 is equal to negative 1.5. Taking the absolute value of that, I get 1.5. And I'm going to go ahead and put that distance on the right. 2 minus 2.5 is equal to negative 0.5. Absolute value is 0.5. 3 minus 2.5 is 0.5 positive, which is 0.5. 4 minus 2.5 is equal to positive 1.5, which is 1.5 distance. Now we have 0.5 minus 2.5, which is negative 2, whose absolute value is 2. 2.5 minus 2.5, which is 0. Absolute value of 0 is 0. That's the same thing for the next line because it's the same number. And then 4.5 minus 2.5 is 2. And the absolute value of 2 is 2. Now we're finding the average deviation, which means we want to add these up. So I'm summing each of these values. And then I'm going to divide them by 4 because that's the number of observations we have. 1.5 plus 1.5 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So I have 4 divided by 4, which gives me an average deviation of 1. On the right-hand side, I have 2 plus 2, which is 4, divided by 4 is also 1. Now, the measures of variations are the same, but do you think they're as spread out as each other? Does that jive with you, or do you feel like one's more spread out than the other? Think about that, and we'll come back for our next video. Okay, welcome back. We're on number 8 of Module 10, where we need to load some data in here. So we're going to go to Data, Load, and we want the Serial Brands. That is a shared data set from StatCrunch Featured, which we've been using a lot of. So we type in Serial. That's the one we want. We want to create histograms. We're going to go to histogram, and we're doing both fiber and sugar. We want our x-axis to be the same, and we want to have one row and 2 columns. And it might look at it a little bit different than what's on your paper because the y-axis is stretched here. Now you're asked by visual inspection, that's as far as we've gotten here, what's the mean of each data set? And on a histogram, this is something where you are just looking to see, is it skewed or is it not? If it's not skewed, your mean should be in the middle. If it is skewed, your mean should be towards the tail a little bit. So this distribution with the on fiber is skewed, whereas the distribution of sugars is a little bit less so. I'm also going to calculate some values using summary statistics. Remember, we go to stat, summary stats by column, and we want fibers and sugars.